You move from second to first.
Okay, are we being recorded?
You're being recorded.
All right. Call this meeting to order. This is the Urbanna Town Council special meeting on April 7th, 2022 at 7 p.m. And for those of you who are here, thank you for being here. So I now call us to order and we'll take a roll call.
Here.
Larry's here. So Golson.
Here.
Okay. Marjorie is absent. Mary is absent. Steve.
Here.
And Bill Smith.
Absent.
No, you're not. You're here.
Why not?
Okay, we do have a quorum, and we also have here Garth and Roy and Martha. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I forgot to press the button. These aren't working tonight? No, not yet. Okay. So let's see, we have an approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion. Okay, let's vote. Larry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
and Barbara votes yes. Okay, that's good. Rolling right along. Now we are into the public hearing of the floodplain ordinance, and who is presenting this?
I guess me.
Okay,
All right, everybody should have gotten a copy of it, and this is mandated by FEMA. So we have drafted the revision that reflects the requirements that they are adding to the plan. I don't think you want me to read this whole thing, do you?
No.
but if there are any remarkable changes, we need to.
The basic changes reflect in zoning and to increasing restrictions of building on sites. It doesn't really have any reflection on changing the floodplain area as it relates to the town, and we continue to have in this that Middlesex County is ultimately the front runner in this, that we take the lead from them. So
have you had anybody come in and look at it and complain about anything?
we had one person that came in and wanted to see the map, and at that time we didn't have it, and we told them that they could come tonight. And Monty Hart asked a question about if this was going to have an impact on, where the boundary of the floodplain, and I responded basically what I just told y'all, that the floodplain itself is not changing. It's just adding restrictions as to how you can build.
As I remember it, it was pretty obvious where the floodplain was.
Yeah.
I mean, we're blessed with hills, but we do have a little bit of lowland, but not much.
Right.
Yeah, I made a call into Garth because I did have an observation to make about the map that's appended to it. The map's like crafted as of 2015. Okay, there's a legend object, lines with triangles. There's an object on the map, lines with triangles, defining an area without reference to anything on the legend. So then the natural question is, what does this map mean? And I think we got an honest answer, which is basically, we don't understand exactly how it works, but it's from FEMA.
The map came off of the FEMA website. And so that's what's out there. And I talked to Andrea this morning and expressed my concerns,
Right.
which were the same as yours, that we've got a map that I don't know how to read. You clearly don't know how to read.
Like if I can't explain it.
I probably shouldn't say this for the record, but when I was talking to her, she said, I don't know how to read it either.
But
And-
let me ask this, which I think is a really important question. If we had a problem with the map, what would we do?
Well, we can't do anything because FEMA's,
It's federal.
this is all formality because they have said, this is what we got to do.
But that's my point.
It's federal law.
It's like
We
the
don't have
language,
any choice.
They're
They're telling us what changes are there and we say, yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And my point was that Middlesex doesn't have a map attached to their stuff.
So is there any?
And I would say that
And-
Christina sounds female. right?
Well, it's.
I reached out to the lady at DCR,
See?
who I've been dealing with on this.
Right.
And, her voicemail was full, so I sent her an email and she hasn't gotten back with me.
Yeah.
And so my recommendation is we move forward with this and we can get the map straight. And even if we remove the map, at least temporarily until we can figure out what it is, and then we can add that.
If and I explained to Garth, my general rule of thumb is if you have an exhibit and you can't explain what it's about and how it relates to the cover of the document, then it's just best to leave it off, which is apparently the tactic the county took. They don't even have a map. And that, if we want to at a later time, get a response from conservation and recreation, or whatever that department is, we can append it at a later time.
There is a map in
But I don't
the
understand it.
2012 planning or comprehensive plan that shows sort of what the floodplain is. It's our map in our comprehensive plan, and it shows very, very little floodplain. I mean, it's like Larry said, everything's down the hills.
Well, that's kind of what I was
And
thinking, but I
Andrea asked me if we had a map. I sent her those maps. And she said, no, it should look more like this, that Ashland County or the city of Ashland has. I said, no, we don't have one of those, but tell me where they had theirs made and we'll have one made. Because I need one for the Chesapeake Bay Act thing anyway. So we are working on getting a correct one.
Yeah, because the thing that I get concerned about is insurance rates are tied to definition of floodplain.
Right.
And I'm like, this is something that might cause more question than it's worth. So,
But the coordinates haven't changed. So, and it's spelled out in writing. So, my recommendation is that we take the lead from Middlesex, which is who we take the lead from anyway.
Yeah.
And we go with the written document, which the written document is nothing more than what we did was we had 3 different plans. Urbanna had 3 different plans.
right.
So we went with the one that is in our book, which is what we consider to be the Bible. And then I took their FEMA's recommended policy, and I compared that with air policy. And basically, we're doing the same thing except adding in what they are requiring us to put in as additions.
From the language, I
Yeah.
totally agree with the language, and I defer to your work on that. I'm just questioning whether or not we should put a map in there if we can't even explain what the heck's going on with the legend. And if the county had done it, why should we? We can append it at a later point when we're a little more.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
It makes me more comfortable personally.
Okay, yeah, because you don't have to defend something that's not. there.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just for your reference, I
I just emailed all of you the link
Yeah.
that was used, and it was like manipulated, zoomed in, zoomed out together. It takes a while to populate, so be
Yeah.
patient.
I'm glad that you at least tried and to get it. It's good that you tried to follow the form. I just didn't, if we can't explain it, then we shouldn't offer it up.
Well, then, my question is, do we have someone who wants to make a motion that we accept the written document minus?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the document as Garth presented it
With the ordinance,
for the ordinance,
it's an ordinance, yeah.
for the ordinance, and strike the map that's appended to it.
Should I read that into the minutes? Or is this okay?
It's,
This is,
well, ordinance, blah, blah,
ordinance,
blah.
but yeah,
It's ordinance number 2201, and it deletes 17.4-11 floodplain areas of the Urbana Town Code and adds 15.1 floodplain management by establishing floodplain districts requiring the issuance of permits to development by providing factors and conditions for variances, blah, blah, blah.
There
Pull
you go.
it off, pull it off.
Well said, sir.
Okay,
Second.
been made, seconded, any other discussion? Okay, no other discussion, let's have a vote.
Anything from the public?
Any complaints? They're very short.
I want to know why.
Yeah, we, they
Yeah.
don't-
Next time we move the town office out here.
I'm a town resident.
It was supposed to be more convenient.
Now we have a motion on the floor and it has been seconded. Larry?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Barbara, yes. Okay, now, there we go. No,
That's next.
what, no, we have to put something in there. Garth? Garth? Okay, it's time for you to,
Okay. We had this special public hearing for this, and I am making a recommendation to council that we cancel the meeting on the 14th, and we will hold a regularly scheduled council meeting on April 28th as scheduled.
okay, I would ask,
So moved.
so moved, there you go.
Second.
All right, just a little comment here. Make sure that you post it on the door and any other places you need to post it, so that we're within. our
We were gonna do
legal
that. We were
Right.
just waiting for council's approval.
Okay, all right, motion's been made and seconded, we're gonna vote. Larry?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Barbara, yes. Okay.
Can I do
it now?
Yeah.
I got a quick question. Something different announced on Facebook
Yeah.
today. Apparently they're shutting down.
In 3 weeks,
So maybe, yeah.
permanently.
Yeah. So maybe we could get a little study done as to how much the restaurant tax contribution is.
We've already worked on that.
$39,000 in 2020 and 25,000 in 2021.
That leads me to, because the EDA funds that are available, economic development, we're losing businesses. Those funds are for water infrastructure and town and business economic development. Something I'll let Jay Allen know. We've got another business, and that's a big business.
That's probably our most,
Well,
Yeah.
just to let,
business in town.
just to let y'all know that I reached out to Sarah and requested a meeting
Yeah.
with her. Roy and I
Okay.
want to meet with her to
That's
talk to her because I'm hoping this is just a point of frustration. So I just think we owe it to her to
And also,
sit down with her and talk to her to see what's going on.
we need, yeah, absolutely. We need to convey our thanks for the hard work she's put into the communities. And, then the contribution to our meals tax and our financial health.
You know, it's kind of frustrating because, I mean, she was a champion during COVID for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, just was thinking out of the box, keeping that place going. And now she's on the uphill swing and
She's having trouble getting people.
Yeah.
So we can
I
thank
mean, she's been working
the
7 days a
government.
week.
passing the minimum wage
Well, there's a
law.
lot of
That
factors
is,
going on.
well, that's the main one.
The cost of food is going up.
Well, there's
and
that
Yeah.
too, but she cannot
That's
get,
going up.
people will sign up, I have heard, people will sign up for interviews and they don't even show up for the interview. If she cannot offer the minimum wage, and apparently Bethpage is paying $18 an hour, so why is anyone gonna come and interview for a job that pays less? And it's just a matter, I think, of simple economics and workforce that she just cannot sustain.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of,
our government, thank you very much, has done this to us.
speaking of Bethpage, I guess you folks have figured out what that's gonna mean as far as additional revenues in the water system. And I've always heard, and every time I've heard it over the years, is that they're getting some kind of good buddy deal versus everybody else. And I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe they need to have it, but as a council member, I brought this up before when nobody seems to be able to answer me, or wants to answer me, I don't think. There you go.
All right, I can answer you. Bethpage is treated just like an out-of-town customer, okay? One thing you don't want to do when they're 37% of our revenue,
Yeah.
that you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. So we give them the same rate as out of town, but they get a double minimum charge. Where we make our revenue is the over 6,000 per thousand charge after that. So actually, it's gone up. And same thing with the condos down at the in Urbana Creek. It's shown that our revenues are up there by changing over to what we did at the last increase with the double minimum charge. If there's more than one water user on more than one on one meter. Like if you have an apartments above Virginia Street Cafe.
So the bottom line is they get the same water rates as any out-of-town user.
That sounds fair. The other thing I wanted, I'm not on any finance committees, but I know that there are some rules going through the legislature that even though we may set the rate, and we may keep the same rate.
Larry,
Yeah,
can I ask a favor?
Yeah.
This isn't on the agenda
Okay.
for a special meeting. Can we adjourn this meeting and then
Yeah,
talk about this?
that's probably better.
What did you
Yeah.
say?
we don't have to talk about it tonight.
Oh, okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded, any
Yes.
Discussion? Yes,
Yes.
Bill, yes?
Yeah.
Steve, yes, Bill, yes, Barbara, yes. Thank you very much for your, thank you.
Okay, now y'all can